Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all over the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We got a whole bunch of callers on hold, and we will get to them in just a second, but I have some really exciting news. And that is we're still working on the venue for Atlanta. Put it on your calendar, November 3rd through the 5th. And but we've got several people that have signed up already. And so that's really exciting too, because they want to come join us. So if you're in the Atlanta area or you're near an airport and you can fly into Atlanta, come on, come join us November 3rd through the 5th in Atlanta. And it should be really fun. So looking forward to that. All right, let's go to the phones. And our first caller is Kaki. Hi, Kaki.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be on
Sure.
the call.
Thank you. I'm glad to have you on the call. Thanks for joining us this evening. Where are you located?
I'm located in Arkansas,
Where in Arkansas are you?
Little Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
You're
in
not
Little
too
Rock,
far from me.
Arkansas. Mhm.
Wonderful. Well, you got a
Yeah, we're
question
close
for me?
neighbors. Yes. I've been. I would like to get like a healing.
Okay.
I've been dealing with fibroids
Oh,
for the past 8 years, and it's been extremely taxing on my body. Heavy bleeding and just tired all the time, and dealing with stomach pains and all of the other issues that come with it. And
hmm
the only thing that I get when I go to the doctor is just to have a surgery and get my uterus and everything removed. And I don't know if I really want to go that route. And
Yeah.
so that's why I'm pretty much here.
Yeah. I've been there. And there are months when you think, oh my God, this looks like a slasher movie. Don't you think? You
Yes,
think, holy
yes,
mackerel.
yes,
Yeah.
it
Been
is.
there. Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do, Waki, is I'm going to raise my vibrational level. I'm going to watch a laser beam in my mind's eye come from my body here in Birmingham. It's going to hook into you in Little Rock. And then I'm going to have a hologram of you in my mind's eye. And then I'm going to envision shooting energy into you, and it'll go to your uterus, because I go right where you're asking, just for time's sake on
Okay.
the show. And then what's going to happen after something's identified is there will be some type of energetic healing that will begin. And I'm going to
Okay.
describe it to you in detail because I want you to envision what I'm seeing. Because if you
Okay.
can envision it, it's going to help integrate the healing into your body. So here we go.
Okay.
Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading over to you in Arkansas. So all right, got you. Shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. Okay. Yeah, you've got several of them. Some of them look like
Yes.
they're pedunculated, Waki,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that means that it looks like they're on a little stem. Think of a mushroom, the stem of a
Mhm.
mushroom. And
Yes.
so they're out from the uterine wall. You've got some that are embedded, you've got some that are pedunculated. So what I'm doing is I'm scooping those out and cutting the ones that are on a stem. And we're going to do a DNA healing. There's several things that I do when there's a fibroid situation. I'm going to do a
Mhm.
DNA healing where the strands of DNA look like pieces of paper inside a fortune cookie with a fortune written
Mhm.
on them. And I'm watching the nucleic acid letters. There's 4 nucleic acids, and they're represented by 4 letters, ATCG. One strand can have 100,000 letters, can have 1,000,000,000 letters. I'm watching them get rearranged. You have 2 strands that have come out of an X chromosome. So I'm watching those in my mind's eye get rearranged. That's gonna work on getting that DNA back to a normal recipe. When we have
Mm.
fibroids, we have too much fibrin. Now, fibrin is
Okay.
a protein that works to clot blood, but it also, when we
Mhm.
have too much fibrin, it can cause scar tissue. And so what I'm
Okay.
watching is I'm watching those strands. They're back into an X chromosome, so they're good. What that does is it releases the fibrin. I'm back in your uterus now, and I'm watching strands of fibrin come out of the uterine wall, and they look like little strands out of a spider web. Have you ever seen a documentary, Waki, on the silkworm and how a silkworm drools? Silkworms drool a protein called fibroin. Humans have fibrin that's part of the clotting
Yeah.
cascade to stop you from
Uh-huh.
bleeding. And so that's what those fibers are used to weave a cocoon for a silkworm, and that's what they make
Yeah. I
silk
know.
fabric
Yes.
out of. Yeah. So that's what it looks like to me. So imagine there's like a cocoon being woven in the middle of your uterus, and it's all these strands of fibrin coming out
Mm-hmm.
of the uterine wall. So that's
Okay.
happening. And then what I'm watching too is I'm watching an ablation happen, which means that the uterine wall is getting cauterized so that it doesn't bleed. Has your GYN talked to you about that? You can get a uterine
Um,
ablation.
yeah, I had a procedure. Well, they didn't want me to do that at first. And I found that procedure, and I got that done around 2015, and it did because I had like four big ones at that time, and
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
I guess it somehow got rid of those, but then I got a lot of them, like I guess
Mhm.
smaller ones, and then some big ones too. It's like
Right.
it came back.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we did that healing on you. Hopefully that will help. If you have a hysterectomy, be sure and get on bioidentical hormones.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I
That's
really
really
thank you.
important. And
Okay.
call a compounding pharmacy in your area. Ask them who's doing bioidentical hormones,
Mhm.
and then work with that physician. I prefer
Okay.
that you go to a GYN if you can find one, but it's really important if you end up having a hysterectomy because you want to have those hormones available so that you don't
Okay.
run into medical menopause. But I think that will help. And if you have a hysterectomy,
Okay.
that's fine too. Just get on the hormones. Okay.
Okay. I really thank you
All
so
righty.
much.
Hope it helps. Thanks for calling.
Thanks. Okay.
Bye. All right, let's try Kevin again. Let's see if we can get him on. Hi, Kevin. Are you there?
Hi, it's
Kevin.
not Kevin, but it says it's unmuted. So
Okay.
my
So
my name is
619 area
Diana.
code?
Yes,
Yeah. What's your
but
name?
my name is Diana, and I'm actually in Arizona, but I do have a San Diego area code.
Okay. Hi, Diana. You're just a
Hi.
secret agent who goes by the name of Kevin, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
How may I help you?
We're having a horse crisis. We have a
Oh,
a
no.
23-year-old horse who's in the hospital ICU with colic, and I
Oh,
need you to take a look at her if you could and see if she's
yeah.
gonna make it.
Yeah. What's her name?
Cat.
Cat, like a kitty cat?
Yeah, her show name was Ms. Cat Baloo, but she goes by Cat.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. All right. So what I'm going to do, Diana, is I'm going to hook into you in Arizona, and I'm going to go from you to Cat, your horse. All right, here we
Okay.
go. Laser beam heading west from Sweet Home, Alabama. Got you. Cat, going to Cat. Okay, got Cat. Ooh, her intestines look really inflamed. They look really swollen.
They
Um,
are.
i- Inflammation looks like red fog on body parts. So what I'm watching is and it's not the whole thing. It's just a section. So uh, what I'm getting is it would be the equivalent of like diverticulitis in a human. She's got an
Yeah.
infection in her intestines, is what I'm seeing. So there's I'm watching the that section that is inflamed. Diana, I'm watching it get cut, and I'm watching a resection of the bowel with her. And I know, like, the horse's bowel is miles long or something. I know it's crazy long.
Yeah.
I'm sure your vet has told you that, but I'm watching that. They're just cutting out the part that's inflamed and infected and then suturing back together her colon. So her
Are
spirit's in
you
her
able
body.
to
She's
tell
not
if her...
dying at the moment.
Okay, that's what was my biggest question, is if she was ready
Yeah.
to go.
No, no. So let's ask her, Kat, are you ready to go? She says, absolutely not. Absolutely not,
Good.
like that. Okay. All right. So I've watched that colon get resectioned, and I'm also watching antibiotic energy get put in that area too, Diana. Antibiotic
Okay.
energy is a fuchsia color. It looks like it's more pink than purple, and that will help
Okay.
too. So let's ask her, Kat, will you make a full recovery? She says, I'm hoping to. All right. How long
Oh,
has she been in the hospital?
since last night.
Okay. All right. Did she collapse or what happened?
Yeah, she went down. In a horse colics, they go down and
Oh,
thrash
gee.
around quite a bit.
Oh, geez. So did you just get her to an emergency clinic
We
or
did. We
did
had
you have the
a
vet
vet
come
come
to
out,
you
and then
or what?
at first one came to us, and then we took her to the hospital, and she spent the night there. And they've been trying to stabilize her, but
Yeah.
she keeps having the pain. She's had a couple of X-rays and what's the other thing? Where they look at your gut, CAT scans, I guess, something
CAT
like that.
scan. Yeah. Or an MRI. Yeah. Probably a CAT
Yes,
scan.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, I hope that helps. The good news is she's
I
not
hope
dying
so.
at the moment. I get that she'll
That's really good
recover.
to know.
And
Okay,
and
thank you
so
so
the
much for your
healing
help.
happened on the energetic level, Diana, and
Uh-huh.
that'll integrate into her body. So that'll help
Okay.
with the healing
Okay.
equation. Okay. Well, good luck. Let
All
us
right,
know what
thanks.
happens.
Thank you.
Bye. We do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 667-770-1476. And the access code is 483620 #. Now, this information can be found anywhere you download podcasts, also on YouTube. We're also on Alexa. And we will post it also the day of the show on all the social media channels. We're on all of them. It's all under Ask Julie Ryan. Please remember to subscribe to the podcast or to the YouTube channel and leave a review. Because when you leave a review, then you're entered into a free drawing for a session with me. And I give away a free session the first Thursday of every month, valued at $200. So we can talk about whatever you want, but all you have to do is just leave a review. You can also leave a review at ratethispodcast.com/Julie. That's ratethispodcast.com/Julie. While you're on my website, askjulieryan.com, be sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter. That's a question somebody has submitted online, and then I answer it. And we also, actually, I'm answering 2 a week now because we're doing the angel chat only on YouTube. And that's another question that somebody has submitted that's chosen to be answered. So you can get your questions. That's another way you can get your questions answered. While you're on my website too, you can schedule an appointment with me. Then we'll have a whole hour to talk about whatever you want. It's a blast. It's so much fun to get to have you all to myself for an hour, and we can talk about medical. We can talk to your deceased loved ones. We can do past lives. We can do all of the above. Anything you want to talk about. I always say, as long as it's legal and ethical, that's the key for me. So we'll do that. I'm booked out a little bit. Get on my calendar. The trick is then what's going to happen is every once in a while, when you think about it, click on the reschedule button in your confirmation email, and it will show you earlier appointments as they become available because people reschedule all the time, every week. And a lot of times you can get in really quickly. What else? Training, Angels and Enlightenment training. That's the online self-paced training. You can find that at askjulieryan.com. And the angelic attendant training, the next one that's available is going to be in Atlanta November 3rd through 5th, as I was mentioning earlier. So doing the April class right now. We're in week 3 this weekend, and it's fabulous, and they love it, and we're having a ball, and we'll do medical stuff this week. So that'll be fun. Okay, this week's question is from Elizabeth, and Elizabeth lives in St. Helens, England, in the UK. And she said, "Hi, Julie. After being admitted to hospital in August of 2022, my partner of 23 years was diagnosed with a brain tumor. We were devastated. I went home alone and cried myself to sleep. I don't know how long I slept, but I awoke and immediately the awful events of the day hit me again. I could feel the sadness welling up inside me, and then I suddenly had this feeling of such peace, love, and contentment. I felt like I was in a cocoon of light, not bright light, more like candlelight. It felt like someone had wrapped their arms around me and was telling me all would be well. I knew my wonderful partner was going to die, but I knew he was going to be part of the love and peace that I was feeling at that moment. Sadly, he passed in November 2022, but not before I told him about my experience. I knew he wasn't afraid of death because he always believed there was more after we pass." Excuse me. "My partner knew I was telling him the truth, and I believe my reinforcing his belief in an afterlife made his passing easier for us both. Was this my guardian angel? Thanks, Elizabeth." I thought that was a great question. So I said, "Hi, Elizabeth. Absolutely. What you felt at that moment of total despair was your guardian angel and spirit in general comforting you. As children, we're taught that everything is made of energy. And when we grow up, that concept is broadened with atoms, electrons, and quantum physics concepts like quarks, fermions, and hypothetical particles. Angels, spirit guides, deceased loved ones, etc., are all part of what I consider to be God slash source slash spirit and are all energy. In addition, they're all designed to help us understand what God from a human perspective is. Energy and source is so far beyond what we can comprehend with our human brains that I believe that all these different names for source that we have, God is something that's very common in our Western culture. It's just to help us try and understand a little bit of the concept of what source is. I went on to say, I believe we're not meant to figure out the science of spirit, just a tiny bit of the concept. That's why the Bible and many other religious texts are in parable or story form. It's a way for people to grasp the God slash energy slash source concept. The Bible, Genesis chapter 1, verse 27 says, we're made in the image and likeness of God. Although most of us think that God looks like a human, I believe it means we're made in the image and likeness of God in spirit form. I always thought God looked like Dumbledore in the Harry Potter movies, or Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings movies, or Father Time, old man, white beard, long white hair. Yeah, I don't believe that anymore. I believe God is spirit. So, having said all that, spirit communicates with us in a way we can fathom, normally in the form of visions, feelings, or senses. Spirit often interacts with us in dreams or upon awakening. That's because our vibrational level has reset to its normal high frequency preset point, that of spirit. When we sleep, our brains rest and we get a break from our problems and busy thoughts, allowing us to receive information on the spirit channel frequency. So remember, she woke up feeling this feeling of love and nurturing and all of that from a dream. So spirit was able to communicate with Elizabeth during that dream because her grief had subsided for a little bit while she was resting. Her brain was able to reset to the spirit frequency. Your angel visit was a beautiful gift and reminder that you and all of us are never alone. We're always surrounded by the love of spirit, however it appears to us. For more information, please read my Angelic Attendants, What Really Happens as We Transition from This Life into the Next Book. So, Elizabeth, thank you for submitting that question. Great question. Okay, let's go back to the phones and Let's try Laura. Hi, Laura.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Laura. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm terrific. Thanks. Where are you?
I'm in Gilroy, California, just south of San Jose.
Yeah, isn't that the garlic capital of the country or something?
Oh, you're funny. How do you know that?
I must be psychic or something. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, brother.
It's because
Yeah.
I
Okay.
lived in LA for a long time, and I think I went to the garlic festival one year there. So
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. That's a popular thing.
it was wild. You guys even had garlic ice cream, which I didn't try. I thought that
No,
sounded
that's
disgusting.
disgusting. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
I don't really like garlic,
Goodness.
so living in the garlic capital is kind of strange.
That's
I think
hilarious.
it's a lesson for me to just learn to love and let go and not judge and,
Yeah. You probably don't have any vampires in that area, though, because, garlic's supposed to keep
Exactly.
away
We don't have
vampires, right?
any. No, there's none for miles around. No. Yeah.
Oh, good.
We're
I'm
clear.
glad. Well, how may I help you? Do you have a question for me?
Yes, I would like to connect with somebody that I knew in high school. Now, this is a long time ago because I'm not a spring chicken. And
Yeah.
I kind of just knew him, not well, but knew him, and we're kind of friends with him. And then after high school, we went our separate ways. But when I was going to our first class reunion, I was really excited to see him. He was really on my mind. I couldn't wait to see him. And I saw a friend of his who shared with me that he had passed away. So this would have been in the late 70s that he died. But for some reason, now we weren't even close friends or anything, but for some reason he has stayed on my mind for like 50 years and a lot. He comes in my mind a lot. So I was just wondering if you could connect with him and, kind of find out why.
Yeah. What's his name, Laura?
His name was Mark Murray.
Okay. All right. So he's standing next to you on your right. So I'm connecting to you. I've already connected to you. He's on your right. Did you have a question for him?
Yeah, I just want to know, I don't know, what does he have to say to me or does he have any idea why we're still so connected?
Yeah, you were soulmates in 713 of your past lives.
Okay.
So soulmates we think of as romantic soulmates usually, but soulmates can be a parent, a sibling, a friend, a colleague, the checkout clerk at the grocery store. It can be the soulmates can do any role. And you guys have been together in a lot of lifetimes in human incarnations. So he's saying that you're always connected, you always will be connected, you'll have many other lifetimes together.
Interesting.
Yeah. Did you have another question for him?
Well, I don't know. Tell him to say something so I'll know it's him. Can you do that?
He's talking to me about recording and he's talking about Kodak film. Did you guys take pictures together? He's talking about film. He's showing me like an old-fashioned camera with Kodak film, the kind that, that would be in a cartridge that you would drop in, but it was wound up and you'd have to pull it out and put it on the other side of the part where the film goes in. Does that mean anything to you?
He gave me a big photograph that I had hanging on my wall.
Okay.
Because we had nicknames for each other. And now as you say that, he probably took that photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it was like a black and white photograph.
Yeah, that film, and I don't know if cameras probably still have that, where you drop in it's kind of a round cartridge thing, and then you'd pull the film over and put it, and then you'd twist it and wind it a little bit to get it stretched out.
I'm definitely old enough to remember that very well.
Yeah. So I'm dating us, girl. I'm dating us.
All right.
Oh gosh.
These youngies are probably like, what are they talking about?
Schedule an appointment with me and we can talk to him for an hour and we'll get lots of information from him.
Well, I have other questions, so I'll schedule an appointment so we can talk about other stuff too.
That would be great. I'd love that. Okay. Thanks for
Thank
calling,
you
Laura.
so much.
Take care.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Okay. Let's see who else we have. Let's go to Deborah next. Hi, Deborah.
Hi. Can you
How
hear
are
me?
ya?
I'm okay.
Terrific. Where are you?
Battle Creek, Michigan.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, we talked about that before we started the show. Kellogg's.
That's all right.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. My cat Luke just passed away on Monday, and the vet said that he had cancer. And I'm really unsettled about this, and I'm not to mention brokenhearted about having to put him down. But I felt like I could have fixed him, but I didn't know how. And so I guess I just want to know if he's okay and if he actually had cancer or how bad it was.
Yes, he had cancer. It was really bad. And yes, you made the right decision. And there's nothing you could have done to prolong his life. Yeah. So yes. I mean, as far as with him getting well. So yes, you made the absolute right decision and he's grateful for it. Yeah. Have you felt like you've felt him next to you since he passed on Monday, Deborah?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
On
what
my
he's
legs.
saying. Yeah. So he's saying that when you think you're feeling him, you are. And he's there and he's letting you know that he's there. So he's hoping that that comforts you.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you made the right decision. So, are you thinking of getting another cat? I know it's soon, but he's saying get another cat.
No, he's crazy.
Yeah. He's
I'm
saying
the
get
cat
another
lady.
cat, and he's saying let the cat play with his toys.
I've had so many cats. I'm the one that rescues all the cats. And
Yeah,
I've had
yeah.
so many
He's
cats.
saying get another cat.
No.
Get another cat. He's saying the sooner the better. Do you have more than one?
I have 3 other cats besides him. I have 2 of his sisters. And then I have
Yeah.
another cat that was a rescue. They're all
Okay.
rescues.
He wants you to get another one. So don't be surprised when there's another cat that comes your way, girl.
There's already a cat that's come my way since
Ah!
then. And I told him, I was like, no more. But I do, I do have a question though. I've been seeing, so yesterday or the day that I took him in to have him put down, there was one butterfly and it was orange and black flying around and it was flying around him and he was trying to play with it. And then today there were 2 of them.
Oh.
Like dancing together. Sweet. And so I didn't know if maybe that was him,
When we see butterflies or cardinals or whatever, it's not our deceased pet or a deceased loved one. It's them sending those animals to let us know that they're around us. So he sent them and he knew that you would, when that thought comes in your head, Deborah, and it's the first thought that comes in your head, go with it. Because normally what we do is we'll question it. We'll say, oh, that's just my imagination. That's not really true. But it is. It's that boom, first thought that comes in your head as fast as you can snap your fingers. And you can talk to him anytime you want. So you just say something to him in your head or aloud. He's going to answer you. It's going to come in. It's going to feel like it's a thought in your head, but that's going to be him answering you. And he's saying he's going to continue to be around you so you can feel him.
Good, because I do feel him. I have a twitch in my leg all the time.
Good. All right. Well, send us a picture of your new cats and I'll post it.
No.
Send us a family picture of all your cats. That will be interesting. I want to see you herd all those cats together and take a picture of all of them at once. Good luck with that.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Okay. You're welcome. Hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay. Let's see who. Let's go to Kim next. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello?
How you doing?
I'm great. Is this Julie?
It is, yes.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know I was going to be called upon. I'm calling from South Bend,
Surprise!
Indiana. Yay!
Where are you? I'm sorry.
South Bend, Indiana.
South Bend, Golden Domer.
Correct. Yes,
Yeah, Notre
ma'am.
Dame. Yeah, terrific. Well, welcome. You got a
Thank
question
you
for
so
me?
much. Yes, I would love to know. I have been, I've been losing. I've not been able to keep on weight, and I just am concerned that maybe there's something more that I should be aware of. I just have a not great feeling about my health, and I'm just wondering if you have any input or
Okay.
if
Are
that.
you having any symptoms, Kim, other than just not being able to keep weight on?
Um, well, I have a very bad sciatic nerve,
Mhm.
which is so it's 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 very sporadic, and if the cement isn't level and I take a step and it jolts my body, I could very much want to scream very loud, or even if I just sit for too long. It's in the lower part of my back.
Mhm. Does it go down your left leg?
That's a good question. Not necessarily. It I can't. It's a shooting pain. My grandmother on my mom's side had it as well, and but it just feels like it feels like it's going to disconnect my back, my lower spine will disconnect. That it's that bad of a pain. That's just
And when that happens, Kim, does that keep you from wanting to eat?
no. It keeps me from just bench. It's no. It just it keeps me from basically kind of living life, or being able to. I wanted to play tennis this summer, or even just venture out for long periods of time. Like if someone were to
Mhm.
say, "Let's go on a road trip," like long car rides, or just anything, just anything that's not very close by, just kind of scares me because of that back pain.
Okay, let me work. Do you want me to work on the back pain? That sounds like that's more of an issue right off the bat. Let me see if what we
Sure,
can do
that'd
on
be
that
great.
sciatica. All right. So here comes my laser beam heading north from Sweet Home, Alabama up to you in South Bend. Got you shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. The hologram that's you in my mind's eye, Kim, has been turned around to the back. So I'm looking at the back. Looks to me like it's more on the left side than the right side. I was getting it was more left side
Okay.
related even before I got you on my radar. When I'm talking to somebody, I get what I call divine downloads. I'm getting information downloaded into my head so that when I get you on my radar, I can go right to where the problematic area is. So, sciatica, so it looks to me like it's below your waist. And what I'm watching is sciaticas look to me, nerves look to me, Kim, like a tube. Think of aquarium tubing, and they
Mhm.
get gunk in them. That's a medical term I made up, gunk. And think of aquarium tubing that when sometimes it needs to be replaced or irrigated because it'll get uneaten fish flakes and fish poop and sometimes minerals from the water in there and it'll kind of glob it up or goop it up. And so what I'm watching is in that sciatica, not only is it inflamed, but it's also got gunk in it. And that's dead cells and necrotic tissue and just other debris. So imagine there's a little corkscrew that's in the middle of that tube, that sciatica nerve looks like a tube, and imagine it's tunneling through that block that's in there. It's like when an electrician is talking about a wire that has an impedance, it keeps the electricity from flowing through the wire. That's what's happening.
Mhm.
Some of it's getting around, but that's what's causing the pain. So that's getting cleared. I'm watching it get irrigated out. Now I'm pouring stem cell energy in there to regenerate that nerve. So stem cell energy, light amber colored gel, has sparkles in it, reminds me of Dippity Doo hair gel when I was a kid in the 60s and 70s. And so there's a vortex spinning outside of your back in that area, and that's regenerating that nerve. So hopefully that will help. Why is Kim losing weight? Does Kim have some funky disease that's causing her to lose weight? I get a yes. Okay, so is it a malignancy issue? No. Is it a gut biome thing? I get a yes. Schedule an appointment with me, Kim. We'll have time to do a deep dive, and then we can really reverse engineer this and see what's going on. But seems to me like the sciatica was way more of an issue than you losing weight at the moment. So I hope that helps, and I hope it helps you um, reduce your pain and eventually heal from it. So thanks for
Very much
calling.
so. It's a huge
You're
blessing.
welcome.
Thank you. I'll make an appointment, Julie. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks for calling. Okay, let's go to Val next. Hi, Val.
Hi, Julie.
How are you, girl?
I'm good. Thank you.
Terrific. Where are you?
Near Dubuque, Iowa.
Okay. Wonderful. We got the Midwest girls here, back to back.
Yes. Eastern Iowa.
Wonderful. Got a question for me?
Yes. We have a dear friend. He's actually a deacon in the Catholic Church in our pastorate. His name's Dan, and he had an accident. I think it's about 6 weeks ago, recently, when he was cutting a tree at his home, and his head was crushed. I mean, he had a skull fracture, and he crushed 5 cervical vertebrae. 5 of his neck vertebrae were crushed. So he had surgery to lift his skull off of his cranium, and they put 2 rods in his neck. He just has a long road to recovery to get the use of his arms and legs. I mean, it's kind of a miracle, really, that he is doing as well as he is. But I just didn't know if maybe perhaps you could help with that healing at all. He cognitively, he's good now. At first he wasn't. They had him on some medication, and we didn't know if he would come back. But he is good cognitively now. He can't write yet, or really, I don't think he has very good use of his hands and feet, legs, extremities. A pretty serious
Goodness.
thing.
Wow. Okay. Val, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to you in Dubuque, and then I'm going to connect from you to Deacon Dan, and I'm going to ask his permission if I can scan him and do a healing on him. If he says yes, I will. If he says no, I won't. If he says no, all is not lost because we can talk to his spirit. We'll get information from it.
Thank you.
Here we go. Here comes my laser beam heading up to you in Iowa. Got you. Okay, going to Dan. Dan, I'm talking to your friend Val. She wants me to do a healing on you. And he said, Val, yes, please. Like, yes, please, bring it on. Okay. All right, good. Okay, so, yeah. All right. He's got lots of hardware in him. What we're going to do is we're going to apply stem cell energy in his neck where all that hardware is. And then that will help fortify everything in new bone. So that will heal. It'll help him heal quicker. Stem cell energy, light amber colored gel, sparkles in it, reminds me of Dippity Doo. Are you young enough to remember Dippity Doo, Val?
Yes, I am, Julie.
Okay, good. I bet you haven't thought of it in 50 years, have you?
It was fun stuff, though.
I know. I used to play with it as a kid. My babysitter used it. All right. So and that lets you know that Spirit has a great sense of humor, because I hadn't thought of Dippity Doo in 50 years either until I started getting that this reminded me of Dippity Doo. So anyways, I digress. All right. Stem cell energy is in there. There's a vortex spinning behind the back of his neck. And that's doing that. I'm really concerned about the concussions in his head. So I'm up in his brain, and brain matter, Val, looks to me like thick cooked oatmeal. And scar tissue in the brain looks to me like chicken cartilage, the kind you'd see in a chicken breast with the bone in. And I'm being super descriptive because you're my helper here. You're my assistant with Deacon Dan. So I'm scooping out the scar tissue. And if you take a big spoonful of oatmeal, it leaves a divot in the cereal. And so where that divot is in the brain matter, that's where the stem cell energy is coming in. In each area where there's a divot, where we've taken out scar tissue, there is a vortex that's spinning above that area. So he's got a lot of So he had a fractured skull too. So I'm watching stem cell energy get applied to his skull. And it's interesting because you know how on a like a bike helmet or a rollerblader helmet, like kids that rollerblade or they skateboard, it's got kind of a plastic frame inside of the metal, the hard plastic helmet. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm watching go inside his head. I have never seen that before, which is interesting.
Oh, my goodness.
That's why I love doing this, because it appeals to my inventor brain, all this cool stuff I get to see. So it's like a structure, like a support that's gone inside of his skull, and then the stem cell energy is forming new bone that will be supported by this structure. Almost like if they're building a cement divider on the highway, they'll put rebar in first to strengthen it, before they pour the cement. That's kind of what this reminds me of. So that's happening. There's a big vortex above his head. Okay. So got that going on. I'm watching his spine get straightened because his spine's a little curvy from the accident. And as soon as his spine was straightened, Val, his whole energy field lit up. So, the good news is he's not dying. His spirit's in his body, and he's not dying at the moment. So he does have a grandmother and his mother and his grandmother are on his right side. On the right side of him. Yeah. And they're there with him, his maternal grandmother and his mother. So that's what I'm getting, who that is. So you may want to share that with him if you have the opportunity. And they're there just helping him heal.
Oh, goosebumps.
Yeah. Yeah. When you get goosebumps like that, Val, that's just spirit saying, yep, that's right. What you just heard is correct. So
awesome.
Is he going to recover? Yes, he's going to recover. And I think cognitively he's going to be okay.
Oh,
so
thank you so much,
I hope that
Julie.
helps. You're a sweet friend to call in for him.
Oh,
hope he does better.
Thank you. Thanks for all you do.
Val. Thanks for calling. All righty, everybody. That's it for this week. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much to those of you that called in. And I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Sending you lots of love from Sweet Home, Alabama. Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.